Hey, it's Othania here with Create Your Future. So today I'm going to talk about free will again. I love this topic, um, along with telepathy, just manifestation in general. But I want to get more into free will again, and just give you guys, unlock another level of understanding for you. So, let's get right into it. So, do we have free will? Yes and no. Um, do others have free will in your reality? No. So, when I say do we have free will? Yes and no in our realities. This is what I mean. And I'm going to get into the yes part as into why we do have it first. We do have free will because we are able to consciously make a decision. Okay. So that we have I like to think about it and describe it like this. The conscious mind is in the front, and then the subconscious mind is in the back. So the conscious mind makes a decision, and then it gets stored in the back of the mind, which is the subconscious. So it's like a file cabinet that stores everything that goes through the conscious. So once you make a conscious decision, okay, for example, I make a conscious, let's start it small. um I make a conscious decision that I'm going to make a coffee. Oh, I'm going to get a coffee. Let's say I'm going to make a coffee. I make the conscious decision. You know what? I'm going to make a coffee. Boom. I made the conscious decision with my free will. Now I just lost my free will to making my coffee. So I go and make my coffee, and then boom, the manifestation of my coffee. I'm able to experience me drinking my coffee. How can I put it in another way? So, um, let's use this in SP terms. You make the decision that you genuinely want to be in a relationship. That's the conscious, that's the free will. You make the conscious decision. Um, I'm going to be in a relationship, and you genuinely make that decision with conviction. Boom. You now lost your free will to that conviction, to your decision. It may seem like the action that you're taking is conscious after you make that decision, but what ends up happening is you're automatically on the path to bring you to such. So that's why I say yes and no, you have free will, because yes, you have the free will to make a conscious decision. But once you make that decision, life happens and unfolds, and you lose your free will to the unfolding. Okay, so let's look at it in negative terms. Let's say something for health. If you were afraid about something that would happen to you, and you never made the conscious decision to oppose that, and what happened was it happened to manifest in your 3D before you were able to start opposing it. So once you thought about you having something that you didn't like health wise, and then it manifested. Once you thought about it, you imagined it, you manifested it, you lost the free will after you did that conscious decision, whether it was unconscious or not. It was still a conscious decision because you imagined it. Once you imagine it and you let it go, you don't change it, you lose your free will after that. In some way, somehow, something will have to happen where you will have to get what you imagined about yourself health wise. You get what I mean? Let me see if I could put this in another way. Mm, if someone says, "Oh, you know what? Such a bad day today. Today is just not my day." Conscious decision. Now you then it's like a domino effect of things going wrong, because once you make the conscious decision, you then lose your free will, and what seems like you're consciously living is actually just you living out. It's just you living out your, how can I put it? It's you living out your, hmm, you're living out basically what you made the conscious decision about. I was looking for another way to say it, but that's just what's happening. Okay, so if you're with somebody and then you start consciously thinking like, oh, they don't want me, I'm not the person they want someone else. Conscious decision. Now after that, you will start taking actions which will automatically be insecure, and you lose your free will to the conscious decision that you made previous, if that makes sense. So it's like you do have free will, but then you don't, because once you make a decision, you don't realize it, but you're automatically taking actions to put you on the path to make that decision and experience. So that's how free will works. And when it comes to the people in your reality, once you make that decision, people in your reality don't even realize that they're playing their part. For example, you make a decision. I'm going to meet my soulmate. And you know what? I'm in the best relationship of my life. Everything is beautiful. Everything feels great. I'm in the best relationship of my life, and that's it. I surrender everything to the universe, and everything is wonderful for me. I'm always chosen. I'm always loved. And this is what I get to experience now. Conscious decision. You don't know, maybe 2, 3 days later, right? Because you got to remember, you have to stay in the embodiment as much as possible to stay on that wave of reality. So, next thing you know, 2, 3 days later, after you make that conscious decision, like I told you, also, you lose the free will once you make the conscious decision, but you get the thought to go to the store. I just told this to one of my clients. You get the thought to go to the store, right? And you think that was a conscious decision. But little do you know that when you get to the store, your soulmate is behind the counter or something like that. So, what really happened was your free will was according to the decision you made, and that was just all a part of the plan. So, when you wake up after you make a decision, in those days to come, what seems like free will is just you unconsciously on the path to bring you your desire, whether it's good or bad. So, and you got to remember, each moment is a new conscious moment. So, the longer you stay in your mind with what you want and you keep making that conscious decision of that's who you are, this is who I am, you have the free will to do that. And then you lose your free will to the decision that you made, and life unfolds, and it just keeps happening with every decision you make. You're constantly in your manifestations, constantly going, because you're constantly making a decision, whether you're aware of it or not. Your conscious mind, whether you're aware of it or not, is making a decision. You meet somebody, oh my god, I'm really attracted to this person, I like that person, I would love to date them, I'm gonna date them, I'm dating that person, right? Something about this person I want to explore. I like them. I'm dating that person if you come across them, right? And then something will happen where you start dating that person, because little did you know, you made that decision and you lost your free will, and you were taking unconscious actions, which were really inspired actions that led you to that path. So if you're dating someone and you say, you know what, no, this person is loyal to me only because I'm always chosen, I'm always the one, and I always get what I want, and I always have the best relationships. Boom. After that, you think you're living consciously, making your own decisions, but you're really putting yourself on the path to being in a relationship where that person only commits to you, where you're only happy, you're always chosen, you're always the one. And that person doesn't have free will in your reality because they have to live out and play out that role. So everyone and everything is always switching up and changing, literally based on your decisions. The key to manifesting with understanding free will and getting what you want is to not look out to the 3D for validation for anything. Because if you start looking out in the 3D for anything, you're now putting yourself back into the version of you. Now you just made a decision. I'm not trusting. Unconscious. It was an unconscious decision, but you made that decision. I'm not trusting. So now you lost your free will if you're not careful enough where you start acting insecure again. And then now you're perpetuating insecure circumstances. You get what I mean? So always decide that things are going your way. Always decide that everything goes in your favor. Always decide that you are loved, especially by your romantic partners and your family and friends. Always decide what you want, because when you decide, you automatically lose your free will to that decision, and life unfolds to what you decided. Because that's what you agreed to. I always will like, what do you mean? Like, but people used to say, what do you mean I agreed to that? I didn't agree. I didn't agree to this happening to me. How did I agree to that? You agree to it by what you're thinking in your mind and imagining. Because your subconscious mind is not going to tell you, "Oh, no, 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 no. Don't think that." Your conscious mind can only do that when you're conscious to switch it up and make another decision. Okay. Um, so you want to make sure whatever you're putting in your conscious mind is what you want to be pushed back into the subconscious, because you're going to lose your free will to that. And everyone in your reality is also going to lose their free will to that when they're thinking that they're making their own decisions, but in reality, they just have to play out that for you, and we're all doing that with each other and each other's realities. So you just have to keep thinking that no matter what happens in your reality, everything loves you and is for you. Everything is always committed and faithful to you. Everything always works out for you. You're always prosperous and abundant, because you will lose your free will to that, and you will take actions where everything has to be prosperous and abundant as much as possible, where you have to be the healthiest version of yourself, where everything has to work out, because you're now taking actions, inspire actions, which you think are conscious actions, but the only thing that was conscious was the decision you made, and it's leading you to the path of what you want. So tell yourself, I'm with my soulmate. I have my soulmate, and it feels so good. Tell yourself that every time you think about being in love, because that is your decision. And before you know it, you're not even going to be thinking about it, because it's going to start feeling so natural to you, because what you have that you already have, it feels natural. It feels natural. You have it. And once it feels natural to you, next thing you know, it comes up as an experience, because it's been impressed. So that's understanding free will this way, understanding it, period, definitely helps you master more manifestation. It's definitely more mastery with that. And like I said, always remember, once you make a decision, which is the only free will you have, you make a decision made, free will gone. You are now living and moving according to what you just decided. Let me give you a really good story really quick. That's kind of like, every time I think about it, it kind of blows my mind. So there's this singer named Aaliyah. She was an American singer. God bless her soul. She was an American singer, and I loved her music growing up. And she passed away on August 25th. All right, keep that in mind. And I was pregnant, and I was supposed to give birth. I had two due dates. I was supposed to give birth August 22nd, and then I was supposed to give birth August 27th. I'm not sure if I told this story to you guys before, but I'm going to say it again because it just holds so much significance as to how this all works. So I remember having a conversation with my mom about 2 months before, most likely before I was supposed to give birth. And I was like, Mom, and we were talking about Aaliyah. And I was like, imagine my daughter, I was like, imagine I give birth on that day. That would be crazy, right? And she was like, yeah, that would be crazy. And then we left the conversation alone. I didn't think about it. Obviously, time is going by. I noticed that I start having contractions August 24th. I was supposed to go in, I think, on the 22nd or something like that. I started having contractions on the 24th. I was in labor for 24 hours and I gave birth August 25th. I created that. And not only did I create that, but I used to always tell myself when I have my first kid, I want it to be a girl and I want her to have the same zodiac sign as me. That's when I like totally believed in like zodiac signs and things like that. And I used to always tell myself that. And she happened to be a girl, the same zodiac sign as me, also born on the day that I spoke to my mother about when we were talking about Aaliyah. There's no such thing as coincidence. When you make a decision and you say something, whether it's unconscious or not, life is literally shifting to make that an experience for you to come true. So always say everything is working out with you for you. Always say that I'm loved, I'm always in the best relationships because everything is going to move around for that to come true. And you want to knock out everything that goes against what will bring you joy in your mind. Okay. So that just goes to show how incredible things will move in the nick of time for you to experience what you had to experience. Like for me to give birth on August 25th, my body had to start doing things at a certain time. Like I wouldn't be able to control that or you know what I mean? So your subconscious will always make things move without you having to do things. You lose your free will when you make a decision. So always decide you are always loved, you're always in the best relationships, you live the most luxurious life, the most glamorous life, the healthiest life, the wealthiest life, the most prosperous life. Because it's best to lose your free will to that instead of losing the free will to the things that you don't want after you make your decision. If you are thinking that there's three P's and stuff like that, you will have to see it. So you're the only one. You're the only one. You are the one. You're the chosen one. Lose your free will to that, and you will take actions as such automatically, naturally. And the only way you will go back to before is if you make a conscious decision to accept that and agree to that. That's how you agree to things when you think about it and imagine that you're agreeing to it. So you always have to be friends with the conscious mind and treat it like your best friend, and only give things good things to it because it remembers that in the subconscious. So I intend that another level of free will um, unlocks something inside of you that will bring you your manifestation. If you're interested in coaching with me, the link for that is available in the description box below. Also, Create Your Future does have a free course to help you recognize your blocks and get them out of here so you can finally manifest what it is that you want to manifest. And the link for that is also in the description box below. So remember what I told you. Make a choice. Make sure it's a good one because you lose your free will to your choices. Your days are already set up according to your embodiment days before. Okay? Also keep that in mind. So make sure your thoughts and everything is in line to what you want so you can ride the wave smoothly, and it's actually a wave you actually want to be on. So I intend that that helped you, and until next time, see you.